The U.S. military accidentally hit the school.
Destroying Beirut in Lebanon right now.
No, we are waiting for them.
You were waiting for the U.S. military to invade the ground troops?
Human shields, tunnels underneath the hospitals in Gaza.
They learn about Iranian history and culture and sing in the Persian language. When drafted for their mandatory military service at age 18,
you cannot be for this Iranian war if you aren't for the refugees.
She said, think about it, I'll give you another 250.
I mean, they're going into the West Bank so much they changed the name. They keep saying Judea and Samaria, wearing a t-shirt, property of Allah.
He shouldn't have desecrated the Holy Temple by urinating on the mosque.
They blamed Iran. And then Qatar and Saudi were like, wait, no, we have to. Allah tells us in the Quran that we are to be called Muslim. That's it. No sects, no Sunni, Shia. Iran poses no threat to America despite this rhetoric on. What's up, guys? My name is Jovian. This is Crescent Cross Covenant Coalition. And for those of you that are new, the purpose of this channel is to heal the divide between Christians and Muslims and take that healing and bring that into politics. Showcase that we are 90% aligned, we both believe Jesus is the Messiah, and stop the divisive rhetoric that's running rampant on socials. It's a beautiful sunny day. I've never filmed this early. I found during Ramadan Mubarak to my brothers and sisters in Islam, during Ramadan, towards the afternoon, I'm not used to speaking consistently with these specific talking points and ideas that I want to share. So I get such brain fog, and I found watching back on some of the videos, I speak a little more slow, and it's definitely more calculated, but normally I speak a little faster. So I was like, you know what? I have time today, so let me film in the morning, and the sun is here. Hopefully I don't look super pasty. I am, it's the winter. So if I look pasty, it's the winter. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think about the show. Let me know what you think about my thoughts. And yeah, updates on Iran. As of today, it's day 15 of the war as of filming this. I had said in a previous episode that bombed a school of innocent children, innocent little girls, but it seems that America might have been the one.
Deadly strike on an Iranian school that killed at least 168 children and 14 teachers. Two sources briefed on the preliminary findings of an ongoing military investigation. The U.S. military accidentally hit the school.
And regardless of who it was, I mean, it's disgusting either way, but they were American Tomahawk missiles, so the claim that it was Iran is just retarded. So I wanted to clear that up. Regardless of who it wasn't Iran. But now, it seems even more likely that it was. I mean, never mind what they've done in Gaza, but they're destroying Beirut in Lebanon right now. And not only are they destroying it, they're not attacking military operations or military bases or anything from the government. They attacked the university of Beirut. So in this public university of Beirut, was Hezbollah there? Is that why they bombed it? Hezbollah is really in a university, They're not claiming that, but now I'm just thinking, just like they say human shields, babies in ovens. They say tunnels underneath the hospitals in Gaza. Hamas bases are in Gaza hospitals. So I don't know what the claim is for this, but clearly this is a pattern for these people. So Lebanon is being destroyed, and of course the greater project that they claim is the next campaign and what was given to Prophet Abraham, peace be upon him. Okay, now they're in Lebanon. Now they're in Lebanon when the war is in Iran. This is a war with Iran. Hezbollah is involved, but now that gave them a reason to go into Beirut. So that's happening. And throughout all this, the Iranian foreign minister is making his rounds, doing PR, I guess. He's saying some crazy shit. He's saying that he's ready for America to go in, and that they've been training for this for 20 years. So I think this whole idea of this being an easy fight for America is slowly coming to a halt and to an unfortunate reality where Trump is like way over his head on this one. My defending of the Iranian Muslims and the Iranian regime, that is not this sort of like third worldist mentality that, you know, these white Americans push on someone like me, in my opinion. That's not this third worldist mentality where it's like, I hate America and I want America to fail. It's none of that. Like I was born here. I'm a third generation American from New York City. My roots and my family roots are all in New York City. They've never even left the borough. So New York has 5 boroughs, which I guess are like counties. I'm the first generation to move from Brooklyn to Staten Island. So my family is so embedded into New York City culture that they've never left Brooklyn until me. So I love New York City, I love America, but that doesn't mean I can't critique and condemn the bullshit that my government is doing. Because ultimately, because we live in this like it's not even the first world, it's like beyond the first world bubble, we have no idea how much we're hated around the world, where it's almost like I can't separate myself from what my government does in some countries. And, you know, like, who gives a shit? Like, okay, like, obviously I'm not my government, but it's important for me to come on here and condemn this shit, because this is a part of the reason why the Muslim world as a whole is just not unified, because there is this diaspora, because America on behalf has destroyed the Middle East and either destabilized countries or took over regimes and have a puppet regime there, which are always a more secular regime, that's created instability, that's created famine and refugees and displacement of these people. So now they come here in Europe, and, you know, to avoid a sort of American nationalist sort of rhetoric, if Americans don't want these Muslims to come in, then they should stop supporting a government that makes it so that these Muslims have to come in because we've destroyed their home. Like, it's just that simple. You cannot be for this Iranian war if you aren't for the refugees that come from this war. That's just how it is. Where do you think these people are going to go? Either they're going to die or they're going to come here. So stop destabilizing these countries and this region, and then you won't have to worry about these people needing to flee in order to have a safe and secure and successful life. It's really that simple. So I see all this, and then, like I said, I see this foreign minister of Iran, and he's just going in. He's saying, like,
President Trump has not ruled out boots on the ground in Iran. Are you afraid of a U.S. invasion?
No, we are waiting for them.
You were waiting for the U.S. military to invade the ground troops?
Yes, because we are confident that we can confront them, and that would be a big disaster for them.
So you're saying that Iran is ready and willing to take on the U.S. military if there were to be ground troops?
Well, we were ready for this.
In fact, he basically said, it's a trap for you guys. You come in, we've been preparing for about 20 years for this.
Like, the reporter is thrown off by this guy saying, yo, like, we've been ready for 20 years. And, you know, it's a different terrain than Iraq or Afghanistan or some of the other countries we've destroyed. Like, it's all mountainous and 90 million people, supposedly over 1 million people in their army alone. So this is all just a stupid idea, just pushing this greater project. Even if Iran is a failure, it's still a success for Israel, because now they're using it as a means to go into Lebanon. They're going into the West Bank, and I mean, they're going into the West Bank so much they changed the name. They like keep saying Judea and Samaria. They don't even call it the West Bank anymore, because Miriam Adelson, who is a Zionist and a supporter of Trump's, she gave him $200 million for his campaign.
She said, think about it, I'll give you another 250.
And with that $200 million was basically buying him out to make sure that the West Bank becomes part of now. So they're pushing into, they're even setting up shop, getting ready for the Sinai in Egypt. They're even getting ready for a front in Egypt and the Sinai. So even if Iran is a failure, it's still a distraction from all this other stuff going on. Never mind the Epstein files, which is just odd timing that this was going on at the same time. Plus all these like fake psyop, Muslim terrorist attacks. Like you have a guy in Texas wearing a t-shirt, property of Allah, like, and then he has, I think he has a Quran on his dashboard, like a Quran on the dashboard of his car. No Muslim would ever just have that loose on the dashboard. Like, we respect the book. We hold so much value to it. We wouldn't just have it on a dashboard getting hit by the sun. But also, anyone who's Muslim, they would never wear Allah on a shirt, because we're not allowed to wear Allah's name in the bathroom. Like, Allah's name is sacred. So we wouldn't be able to even walk into the bathroom with it. He'd have to take the shirt off every time. So on the one hand, it's like, okay, he could be more secular, or he could be a convert or whatever. But like, just think logically. You've never seen a convert or a born Muslim wear Allah on their clothes. You could say what you want about the way Muslims dress, but you would never see Allah on that. Like, that's so, you would rarely even see Arabic. Ironically, I'm wearing Arabic today. This is Supreme, but translated in Arabic. But yeah, so like all these psyop Muslim terrorist attacks all happening. There's like 4 of them that happen in less than a month at the same time, to validate even more to go into Iran. Never mind any false flags that might end up happening. Like, at this point, when it comes to Israel, there's like literally nothing new under the sun. This is just baked into the DNA of how these people operate. And because I'm pretty sure they even went to go bomb, I don't know if it was, I think it was an oil factory or something to do with oil in Saudi and in Qatar, and they blamed Iran. And then Qatar and Saudi were like, wait, no, like, we have to figure out who did this, because we can't just say it was Iran. It's like, yo, like, they're really pushing these buttons, these fucking people. So I've been seeing all this, and then I saw something crazy. I saw a video. It was almost like a news report, maybe from like 20 years ago, it seemed. I didn't get the exact date. And it's kids in a classroom learning Farsi, which is like the language of Iran, the Persian language that is predominant right now, and learning like Farsi songs and learning culture, learning like the Persian and the Iranian culture. But these are kids.
Have you ever wondered why you see so many pro-Israel Iranian accounts online? This is an old report detailing the preparations made by Israeli intelligence services to train high school students in Farsi so that they can pose online as Iranians and stir chaos.
These teenagers may be Israel's future operatives in an espionage battle against Iran. They learn about Iranian history and culture and sing in the Persian language. They're currently studying for their final exams, focusing on Farsi grammar, translations, and contemporary Iranian affairs. When drafted for their mandatory military service at age 18, they will be natural candidates for key positions in intelligence services.
They've been preparing for this for so long that instead of kids going to school to learn math and English and science and social studies, these kids are learning Iranian culture, but they're ethnically Jewish. This video isn't even commenting on it in a negative way. It's just stating it like, oh, like, this is just what they do. Like, these kids are going to be the future leaders. Just proudly showing that these kids they're not learning math, but they're learning how to intercept and infiltrate in Iran as part of like Unit 8200 possibly, or and that's just insane. So it's like every hour, of course X is like the hotbed for all this shit, but every hour I'm just seeing this like more and more shit, and it much like I've said before, it's almost just pointless to talk about this shit, because every hour there's legit like a different update on a different psyop. So it's like, okay, if they weren't able to get us with the property of Allah shooter, it's like, oh well, look at, Iran is now chanting death to America. But it's like, and there's like protests in the streets, like death to America, burning the American flag. They've been saying that Iran was doing that for decades now, and which was never the case. And now Iran has an actual reason to do so. So it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy that these people do, where they push this on us for decades, that Iran is chanting death to America and death to the West, death to democracy, and they want to take over our country for whatever reason. And then now when that goes viral, you see it, and now it validates all that conditioning that you had. So it's actually genius. And it really makes me sad that the Muslim world and the Muslim diaspora across the world is not unified at all, really. Community-wise, religiously, I think there's a lot of unity in Islam. And religiously, I really believe we are the strongest faith in terms of by the book, Islamic doctrine, halal, haram, and really being on our deen, which is like really being focused on faith. I think that aspect is beautiful, and I see that getting somehow in the West getting stronger oftentimes. Obviously I see a lot of, crazy stuff, like people not eating halal, and just an overall, like my generation being more secular Muslim. But I think overall in the West, there is more people getting more Islamically religious, which is incredible. But then when it comes to more geopolitics and the bigger picture Ummah, which is the bigger picture Muslim community, there's literally only division. So Iran is alone. They have their proxies, but those aren't governments, those are proxies. Those are proxies to the governments. Like Hezbollah and the Houthis, those aren't the governments in control of Yemen and Lebanon. Yemen is barely even a country. And Iraq, they have a proxy in Iraq, but they're not like the mainstream governments there. They're just like fringe proxy networks that support Iran, and strategically it's genius. But outside of that, Iran has nobody. If the UAE, secular, just doing the work of, you have Saudi, I have no idea, I guess doing the work of, Turkey, they're going to be attacked soon and get involved in what seems to be World War III. They're doing nothing right now, and they'll be destroyed. Pakistan is next. They're the only Muslim country with a nuke, which is a problem, and they're not even that powerful. And all it takes is like 5 to 6 countries to get together and just be a Muslim bloc. Like, forget the Shia, forget the Sunni, the Wahhabi, the Sufi, all this bullshit. In the Quran, Allah tells us in the Quran that we are to be called Muslim. That's it. No sects, no Sunni, Shia, Wahhabi, Sufi, all these stupid names. It's just Muslim. So yeah, we have a difference of approach and a difference of interpretation with the Shias, and Allah lim, God, Allah knows best, God knows best. But at this point, that's not even our business. We both read the Quran, I think they have a little bit of a distaste for the Hadith, and they have a difference of belief of who should be taking over the leadership of the Muslim world. But we believe Jesus is the Messiah. We believe Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon both of them, is the last prophet, the final messenger. The Quran is uncorrupted from Allah through Angel Gabriel to Prophet Muhammad for the rest of time. We agree on all the pillars. Like, they're Muslim. And the fact that the Muslim world is not united is exactly why we're in this position. So I'm all about self-accountability. And maybe it's rich for me to say, it's easy for me to say because I'm a convert in all this, but maybe because I'm a convert and I'm looking at things more bright-eyed because I wasn't born into this, maybe I see things from an alternative angle. I have an alternative approach, right? I have an alternative approach to form an alliance with the Christians, get politically active. A lot of things that a lot of Muslims, and especially in America, are sort of against. Especially politics. I've been warned so many times to not get involved in politics from Muslim people in my life. But it's important more than ever for all of us to come together despite any stupid differences. Like, who gives a shit at this point? Like, Shias, they pray and they put a rock on their head. It's like, okay, that's like, I would never do that. Muslims as a whole don't really do that. But they're praying. They're praying, bro. That's more to say than some of the Muslims in the West. Unless you do your 5 salat a day, like, do not critique the way Shias put the rock on their forehead. It's that simple. Like, focus on your deen, right? Focus on your faith. Focus on you being the best Muslim you could be. And don't worry about someone putting a rock on their forehead. They're praying. They have the salaya, right? They're doing their salat. They're doing their 5 prayers. They're fasting for Ramadan. Those are our brothers and sisters. And they happen to be the only ones that are defending Gaza. So together, as a Muslim bloc, we should all be supporting Iran. And again, this is separate from my American side. For my American take, it's, yeah, we shouldn't even be there because Americans are going to die for Israel. And this doesn't benefit America in any way. It doesn't even, it's not even a neutral sort of position. It's actually nothing but regressive because now we're seen as weaker. Iran poses no threat to America despite this rhetoric on legacy media and from Donald Trump. Nothing they do can reach us. Nothing they do. They don't even want to f with us in any way. It has nothing to do with us. So these Muslim countries being cucked is why not only is Iran alone because of that, but also Turkey and Pakistan are next. And this part of Egypt will be taken by part of Lebanon. Syria, their position that they took in Syria is already theirs. The Golan Heights are already theirs. They want Saudi next. They want Iraq next. And little by little, all these little territories that they want will fall because they're united. They have a diaspora that is united no matter what. No matter if they're right-leaning, like right-wing leaning or left-wing leaning, they might have a disagreement with how to get there, but they have the same goal, greater. And what do Muslims have? Oh, let's wait for the Mahdi, and when Prophet Jesus comes, then we'll be saved. It's like, what are you talking about, bro? Insane. You know, I think if this is not a wake-up call, then the Ummah, the community, the worldly community of Muslims will only fall further and further into disrepair, you know, especially with all the Psyop pushes that are on social media. More and more people are going to fall for it because we're not together as a unit, you know, even if there are slight disagreements. And who, you know, there may be blocks of Muslims approach it in different ways, but it's still the common goal. You know, we still have a common goal, but as long as we don't have that, then the psyops on social media will work. I saw one, you know, briefly before we end this episode. Terence Howard, who's this, I guess he's still an actor. He kind of went viral for showing his passion about like alternative science and alternative mathematics. And he was on Joe Rogan twice talking about how 1 × 1 is 2 and all this stuff. He was on Patrick Bet-David like 2 days ago, I think. And he said that he left Islam at 13 years old because a homeless man went into the mosque and urinated on the floor. And one of the brothers at the mosque cut the dick off of this homeless man. And he said in that moment he knew Islam couldn't be from a God of love.
Apparently he had castrated a wino, a homeless person, for urinating on the mosque.
He castrated him?
Castrated him. He shouldn't have desecrated the holy temple by urinating on the mosque.
So stupid. And Muslim Lantern, who I love dearly, made such a valid point, which is something I was thinking of because I remember there being a hadith where Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, there's a narration where when an Arab nomad came into the mosque and he was urinating on the floor of the mosque while they were praying. And some of Prophet Muhammad's companions, they wanted to stop him and tackle him and beat him up, at the minimum. And Prophet Muhammad stopped them and said, no, let him finish and then just clean it. Let him finish peeing and then you just clean it, right? And now who knows how aggressive I would be if I saw that, but how rich is it that there's literally a lesson and a specific occurrence in the Prophet's lifetime that we have the narration of the exact thing that Terence Howard claims to have happened at the mosque. So he's probably lying, but let's say he wasn't lying. Clearly this is not representative of Islam because Prophet Muhammad didn't castrate this homeless man. This nomadic Arab was not castrated. He actually was given love and a lesson, and also was showcased that Muslims come in peace. So assuming Terence Howard is telling the truth, then what his brother did at the mosque isn't reflective of Islam, because we have the exact lesson on how to deal with someone urinating in the mosque. And then Terence says after, oh, well, I wasn't there, I overheard it in a conversation, and I wasn't even in the conversation. It's like, bruh. Like, okay, so many layers of fabrication. It's like, okay, barely believe that. Then it goes even further. He says that the homeless guy urinated in the holy temple. In case you're watching and you're not familiar, we're not the religion that calls our religious structure a temple. It's the mosque, the masjid. Like, it's not a temple. That's like saying the holy church. Would you ever hear a Muslim call the mosque a church? No, it's the mosque. That's what it's called. The masjid, the mosque. So he called it the holy temple. I've never even, I mean, unless I'm mistaken, I've never even heard a Muslim say the holy mosque. Or I'm going to the holy mosque today. Like, what is it, the Kaaba maybe? Like, I don't even know what that means. So he said that. And then the first thing that got me, and that people might have missed because of the holy temple and the castration, he says his name was Suleiman. He said, oh yeah, my name was Suleiman. Just like that. That's worse than my accent. So Solomon, Prophet Solomon, peace be upon him, one of my favorite stories in the Quran. In Arabic, it would be Suleiman. Even I know that, bro. Suleiman. I'm actually pretty close. That's pretty close to the pronunciation. So he's saying Suleiman. Bro, that's like, it's Solomon. Like, if you're American, I don't know, I think he was born into it, which is even more questionable. But even if he has an American accent, it'd be Solomon. So what's Suleiman? Like, what is that? So, and then, leaving at 13, it's like, bro, like, this is not a credible story. So I only bring that up just to showcase the Psyops are coming from everywhere to ensure the American people are on board with this war. And I'm showcasing to you, as an American and as a Muslim, that this is not good for America. This actually not only might it be the start of World War III, it might be the start to the downfall that is the American empire. So, yeah, those are a few of my thoughts. Again, my name is Jovian. This is Crescent Cross Covenant Coalition. I thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for getting this far if you did. Please like, comment, subscribe, share. Let me know your thoughts about the show. And yeah, assalamu alaikum to my brothers and sisters. Ramadan Mubarak. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم